Times the charm here.
No, man, you're super loud over here now.
Well,
I
God,
wish they
dude.
could. All right, we're live.
Yay. Okay. Woo! Um, so I guess we can start off with our third time now doing this because I had to remember how to stream. Um, is our main menu has gone through a lot of changes. Most of the art has been redone. We've got new buttons. We will have a new background here as well. We haven't got there. Same goes for here. We have a new font. Much cleaner and easier to read. We have a lot of things. If Kyle wants to go through and talk about what he did with the main menu, that would be probably better than me trying to say what happened.
Okay, yeah, we were just going through trying to make sure everything is a more consistent style and matches the cartoony kind of outliney look. Whereas this original box was kind of more of a old school hand painted look, I guess. Like these new buttons, the big blue buttons there, I think are a lot more style fitting and brighter than the previous buttons.
Oh yeah.
And then the background, I basically repainted almost all the characters in the background. The king and dwarf I just recolored, but I still think it made a really big change.
You mean the paladin?
Paladin, yeah, sorry.
It's all good. And then we have some
Sitting
other
in a throne.
art to go through. Let me just pull up Photoshop real fast. And so we have our zombie, and that's actually in the game now if you currently are playing it, but this just kind of gives you a more up close and blown up look at him. Um, then we have our ogre, which is not in the game yet, so this one is kind of a first look kind of thing. And then we have the jeweler, although he'll be a goblin, but when we're doing the art, it's all done for humans, and then it gets shifted to the different uh, races based on their proportions. Um, so he'll be a goblin, and we'll talk more about him in a minute. If anybody has any comments, just pipe in, right? Like you don't have to wait for me, but we've got new frames that we're looking to put in. So this one is kind of aimed towards the jeweler. You have text here, you'll have your info, but again, trying to go to a more unified
Tabs at the top.
theme. Tabs at the top.
Yeah, and that menu you actually see there with the wood, that's going to replace that new one I was just saying. Like we made the style match a little bit more. That's the new wood frame.
Yep, we're working on them. They take a little time to get in, but the artwork is getting done and getting there. So yeah, that's a frame that you'll start seeing regularly throughout the game soon.
Helen
Next,
approves.
huh?
Helen approves.
Mm,
Very fancy.
then we are golden. We are in. Weapons. So we added a lot of weapons. I actually think we added more than this, but this is a smattering of added weapons that we put in the game. And shields, but shields are treated like weapons, other than they don't swing. Um, some staves, some maces, a paladin hammer, big two-hander, axes, kind of the lower end stuff, as well as some, nicer higher end stuff. But a good smattering, nonetheless, of weapons. And then we have our health bars, and ours is the bottom one. But this isn't ours, right, Kyle? That's the kind of the
No, the top one is ours.
Oh, the top one is ours.
Both of those are ours. Yeah, I made both of those.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that's
So,
what I was talking about earlier. I was like, man, the bottom one doesn't look anything like the top one, but the top one I really like.
They're so funny.
but anyway, so health bars we've redone. So if you see a health bar that's out of place, it's because I dumped a bit of time into those and their centering changed and had to reorient them. I think I reoriented them all, but I don't know for sure. Does anybody have any comments specifically on these before I move in? Actually, I guess we can.
Helen said the black shield's really cool.
That guy? Yeah,
Yep.
I do like him. So we tried to get some lower end stuff in so that we can then work more towards the middle and high end stuff. So we have some junky looking stuff on purpose because we want that. Um, but see, the junky looking staff is kind of cool looking anyway. It's just kind of evil,
Yep.
but it's much junkier than the other staffs. So,
Yep. Lots of
um,
different find and use, and
yep.
hopefully you don't get max level and find that crappy sword that's the best sword you've ever had.
Get a purple rusty sword.
Well, you you cannot get a purple rusty sword. It only greens can be rusty. So,
Okay.
there is no purple rusty swords. Um, yeah, they're all like I think the blackened ones, the ones that look like they have forge scale on them, are green to epic. I think, and don't quote me on all this, but I'm doing my best to remember. The class weapons, so you have your warrior sword and your paladin mace, are blue and up, so all the way up through legendary, which we do not have anything legendary in the game, but um, they can, if ever allowed to drop a legendary, which I doubt will be the case, they can fill that role. Um, what else do we have here? These are all the rest that are blackened, I think, and then rusty, except for this. This is a class weapon also for the rogue. I think I covered them all.
Yep.
Okay. Jeweler is obviously going to be our next thing. I don't have the jewelry shop to show here, but that's okay. We can show that next time. So we do have art for the jewelry shop. We have we also have the jeweler building to put into level 2. We are really on the edge of adding the jeweler. I've been running through doing other things. If you've watched the patch notes, you've seen that there's been just kind of all over the place changes. They seem maybe very random. They're not so random. We kind of have a list of priorities we're trying to get through. Um, but the jeweler is coming soon. Um, and really looking forward to putting him in. I'm thinking we're going to be talking about him today. Are we talking about him today? What is our topics today, guys?
Our topics today are the quest log
Okay.
and the what do we call them? The top right objectives
Right, so
on how to.
that's the quest log stuff. Sure. Okay.
And then if we have time, we can jump into something else.
Okay. So then I guess let's get into the game and we'll see. You can tell very different on the text. Much, much, much cleaner. So,
Oh yeah,
oops.
have you touched on that yet? Yeah, the text is real good.
You guys may not notice it. You may notice it. I don't know. You can look at past videos to see this stuff, but I can't explain how much of a difference it's made to me. And I know to the other guys, it also has. You may also see some text that's out of place because the way we did the text and the way it aligns changed. So there's going to be text that's still out of place that's not yet realigned. There's just a lot of it, and it's taking time to get through it all.
Yeah, Helen says I agree.
We
Don't look at
redid
the old videos. Just this is our text.
we did all the redid the art on that loading screen too, so we'll have that updated. That wooden screen that we were just on for making a save file, similarly to how we had the jeweler menu.
Okay. All right. I don't know if we showed the fixed lighting. It was wrong before. So I'll mention that real fast. This is the area we are talking about right now, guys, and then also right now you have quests kind of thrown at the bottom of what you're doing. These will still probably stay on your party, so you know which quest that party's on. But we want to deal with this area. Is that correct, Corey? You wanna take us from here?
Yeah, so we had talked a little bit about that area, which is a little bit different than the quest log. So we talked about having like a bar up top to have kind of the win conditions and the quest separated out a little bit. So maybe that would be where we grab the quest log from, and then it could either, like, the win conditions, maybe pop them down and hide them. So kind of designing some kind of UI.
So we're thinking a bar with like an arrow potentially down to expand this, and then back up to put it back up, and then maybe a button next to it that opens the quest log. Is that what we're saying?
Yeah,
Okay.
something along those lines. Maybe the date could be up in the UI because it kind of gets lost on certain backgrounds.
Yeah, I think
So
Kyle's new UI puts the date over there. Is that correct, Kyle?
I believe so. Yeah.
Yeah, I just haven't gotten to it. So yes, that'll get the hell out of the way.
okay.
I think that's right next to the clock now, which I think makes more sense.
I agree. Plus, it gives us this corner to work with, so we can shove this kind of over. Are we thinking some transparency to this bar, or are we thinking solid?
In a perfect world, my mind, like the behavior I envision when I'm like, what do I want that to look like, is transparent until you hover over it. Even though I know that's probably
No, I like
most
that. I
work
like
of it.
that, Corey.
Wow, I thought you weren't gonna like that. Yeah.
Yeah, me too. Okay.
Well, it's the best of both worlds in my mind. If I had to pick one, I was going towards solid, but no, it's better than what I was thinking. So
Yeah, and then I think something to toggle the win conditions so they can, slide down, slide back up, get out of your way, and then like another button for your quest that
So
opens up the quest log or closes the quest log.
So like optional quests and win conditions would have a plus minus next to them or whatever.
Well, I think no. I think they would just be icons up top, buttons up top that you would click to show and hide, and then they just, like, the win conditions can drop down in like a panel or something, and then it would be full view. Right, so it wouldn't go to transparent if that's extended, but then if you had it hidden, then it could go to transparent. And then the quest thing would just open the quest log, I think.
I
rather
missed something. Try again for me. I apologize. I'm trying to get a vision of it, and I lost you somewhere.
Okay, so let's say at the top we're gonna have two buttons that are next to each other, one for win conditions, one for one
So
for
they're
quests.
like tabs.
Yeah,
Or radio
tabs.
buttons.
Mm-hmm.
Whatever you want to call them.
Yeah, and then it would basically just kind of slide down. Like, think of like Warcraft 3 when like the chains would slide down on the main menu, right?
I doubt we're doing sliding.
Okay.
Just to be.
So they can pop out.
That's
whatever.
getting a little. I mean, look, if you've got a good idea on how you want to do that, great. I can't think of one off the top of my head that's gonna. I can't actually think of one off the top of my head that could work.
Sure. I'm saying in my mind what I would like, right?
Okay. Yep. Give me your perfect world. Okay. It slides down. Got it. Okay.
Right. So similar to that, just kind of pops down, open, and then it wouldn't be transparent anymore. It'd be full.
Right.
So when
But if you hide it, then it could go in transparent because it's only the top bar. As for the quest,
What if
optional
you want to leave it open?
Yeah,
I want to leave it open.
You sure you don't want it to go partially transparent?
I wouldn't.
Okay.
Because I would want to leave it open a lot of the time just so I can double check what I'm trying to do. But I would want it to be transparent. And then if I just am having a hard time reading or something, I'll mouse hover over it.
Okay, so there you go. Both.
Well, those are easy to do, right? We just have to have a timer for how long your mouse has been off of it,
Mm-hmm.
and then a fade out that happens after that timer, and then if you hover back over it, it fades back in. On the same
Maybe have a
time
win
reverse. Huh?
Maybe have a win conditions like 2 of 4 completed or 1 of 4 completed, right? As like a little snapshot up top.
Yeah, on the bar.
That way, if you have it closed, you can see, okay, I've got 2 more. What are they? Quests, maybe the same thing. Maybe we have that next to it, like quests.
Well, quest, what I'm thinking at this point would just be another tab in here, right? So you have win conditions, optional quests, and accepted quests. No?
I don't. Okay.
I'm just saying, why not wrap the quest log into this?
So the quests, I think that's the wrong word for the quest. Maybe objectives, optional objectives.
Sure, we can
There.
change that word. That's fine.
Oh, when I'm envisioning that menu, it seems kind. Yeah, I see it as a simple menu. Aside from the transparency thing, really, just like it's a drop down. You just click the win condition as a big drop down button, and then it shows the frame, and then you click it and it goes away. And then
Big button?
whenever you're, yeah, so like, when I say big button, I mean wide, I guess. Like you can click anywhere on the text. It's not a specific spot to open or close it.
Yeah.
And then whenever you're not hovering over it, it's transparent, and when you're hovering over it, it's opaque. Just in general across the board, doesn't matter what state it's in. That's what I was thinking.
That is what I was thinking. I think Corey's segmented idea is good.
I think I'm not quite understanding a segmented idea. Is my
Well,
issue
okay,
then.
so when conditions only takes up this much space, and Corey, correct me if I have this wrong, but when conditions only takes up this much space, optional quest takes up this much space. Having both of them up at the same time takes up this much space, right? So if we only have one open at a time, it takes up less space than having all of them open at the same time. So if they each have their own button to open them, and they could just be toggle on and off, right? So we could
Yep.
do checkbox instead of radio button functionality to where you can have as many as you
Sure.
want open, and then it can be as long as you want. That's your own problem. You're the user. You do what you want. You want a huge ass menu open, good for you. You want it teeny tiny, you can keep one open at a time. That's how I was interpreting what Corey's saying and what the benefits of only having one at a time open are. Corey, did I get any of that right, or am I not
Yeah,
understanding
I mean
you?
that works.
Okay, so when you open one, it would close another to prevent the menu from getting giant.
Well, it doesn't
Or-
have to. We can checkbox it. I don't have a problem with that either.
Yeah.
Put it on the
Because
user.
I mean, from a user perspective, I do want the ability to be like, here's all my quests. Just at the same time, I want to see everything.
So if they're checkbox functionality, then that's doable, right? So
Yeah. So we would have what text, or we'd have quests, objectives, and win conditions.
yes. That work? Everybody kind of
That works.
agrees? Okay.
And whether they're icons or text or whatever, we can figure that out. We can iron that out a little bit. But I think if we have,
The buttons will do icons. It'll be too much space. And they can each
Um,
have their own tooltip to tell you what they are.
Mhm.
Slight nitpicky thing, but I think it would be good and it's super easy to change is instead of saying win condition, maybe like career quests or guild quests or something. Because I don't think I've ever seen win condition in a game for quests.
Primary
Well,
objective,
they're not
optional.
quests, right? So if you look at them, they're telling you what it's required to beat the level. That doesn't
What
mean
if it
win
was
condition is
like
the right term. We can talk about the terms.
Yeah.
maybe
Um,
like guild progression or
objective.
something?
Do you have another idea for a word?
Yeah, guild progression or guild promotion. I don't know. I feel like it's just something to do with your guild
Because
because that's all the stuff related to how strong your guild is, right?
you're not getting promoted, right? The guild, theoretically, if it was a guild, they would choose when they expand, just like if you're a company.
Guild
Right?
expansion. What about that?
Well, but
Because once
you're
you do
not.
them all, you expand.
Okay, so pretend for a second you haven't been working on this game for 2 years, and you're
Okay.
some random dude that shows up to the game and is like, "All right, how do I beat this level?" What do you want that terminology to be to tell you how to beat the level? And then I'm going to interject real fast and say, that's why I called it win conditions.
Yeah. All right.
Now, I am fine with changing it, but it needs to be so clear that somebody understands specifically what is being talked about here and how to beat the level, because I don't want it to be confusing. The game is, how do I say, not sandbox, but you can do what you want in the game, right? And so giving them some direction, I think, is a good thing, and I don't want to I don't want to confuse them too bad, but I am totally open to changing the term. It just has to be super, super clear. And I understand it's not themed great, so that's again why I'm more willing to change it if we need to. But just like Corey's like optional objective. Oh yeah, that's actually probably a better term. That's actually more clear than than what I have there. So okay, great. We change it. If we have something that's that clear and just almost obviously better, then I'm happy to change it. Just let's be real careful with that term. I don't want to confuse people. But
To me, primary objective works if we're using optional.
primary objectives could work, Kyle.
Yeah, I would prefer that.
Primary objectives. Corey, you want to fill that out in GitHub? Both of
Sure.
those? Thank you. Okay. Yep. See? Something that's obvious and better. I'm happy to make the change. We just gotta
Barrel
be
said
careful.
completion progression too.
Completion progression. Maybe. I think I like primary objective better, but what do you guys think?
Where did you see that? I'm not even seeing Barrel's comment for that.
Oh, I see him in the chat.
Well, that was Helen.
Yeah, two up. He said hi to Helen. Helen said hi back.
Okay, yeah, it was Helen. All right, I'm not going crazy. Welcome, Barrel.
It's good to see you guys.
Oh, I was. Yeah, you're right. I'm sorry. I was looking at the wrong username.
Okay. I guess that covers that area. We're good there. Yeah.
Yeah, now we can start talking about the quest menu on how that's going to look and work and feel, and once they open it up.
That is the quest menu now.
I mean the quest log.
That is the quest log now.
So when you click on clear the basement, okay, cool. So then quests will just be up there.
And we can put that in there. That's fine. And then have it back. But, I mean, you click on it. You can already click on these.
Okay, and then it could scroll, I guess. If it went all the way down the screen, it would just kind of open them up and you could see inside of there. Sure.
Come again?
Right, like if you click on the optional quests, complete quests for Eldritch Farm 1 to 3. Right, if you click on that one, maybe it just pops down below it, and then the information is right there below it.
I was thinking it would just fill the space.
And then you have to X out of it to...
X out or a back button or something, yeah. And then it would go back to the previous state. Like if this
Okay.
was state 0, which encompasses whatever we want to show, and then you click 1, it goes to state 1, showing the stuff, and then you click back and it goes to state 0. I mean, if we hate that, then we can do something different, but that's my thought. Don't worry, Helen, you have been recognized. It was
Sorry.
your idea. Kyle will assume the dunce cap.
They're both green. I got confused.
Oh, that sucks. Barrel's purple for me.
Oh,
Yeah, they're same color for me.
Oh, Helen's green and Barrel is purple for me.
that's weird. I wonder what's different.
I don't know. Do you guys like that idea? Do we want to do something different? What are our thoughts there? That was just what popped in my head. As soon as we put the quests over there, I felt like they should stay over there.
That simplifies things. Why do you need another quest log? Right? Why do you need another thing to pop up on your screen? I like it. I think cleaning it up more would be showing that, like, I could have multiple quests that I'm looking at, comparing what's this, what's that, the other way. And then it would scroll down the screen if it's going to be long anyway. We'll have to figure that out if it can potentially be that long. Because if we were to show primary objectives, optional objectives, and quests all listed out there, right? It could be halfway down the screen or longer depending on how many quests are available at one time.
Okay. I mean, I understand the desires.
So then showing I guess showing the quest log up at the top, it would almost have to like hide everything else, show that, collapse to that size, and then when you exit out, go back to the other one. Go back to the list of everything that you had open. There's a functionality standpoint, right?
Yeah, I'm just trying to think of a quest log that lets you see 2 quests at once. I mean, I understand the functionality and the reason for it, but it seems like adding complexity that the question is, do we need it? In my mind, like I'm trying to think through, like you can only see 1 quest at a time in something like Divinity: Original Sin.
I mean, I'm fine with showing only one. I'm just saying I would prefer it showing like under the quest that you're looking at, because you may click a quest and
Well, but if you're
misclick.
gonna expand it down like that, then you might as well allow them to show 2. The thing is,
How do you feel about, well, for quest comparison? Because the reason I'm going to use that is to try and compare 2 quests. What if you have a click out? You only have one that can be open when you have a click, but if you're hovering over something, you have a hover menu that shows it as well. It's like how you have that current pop out.
right,
But that would just,
you want a tooltip.
yeah, there you go. So a tooltip when you hover over it, and then you can click to just show it, and that way you can easily compare one quest to whatever else you're hovering over, without.
Well,
Because
that
if you
quest,
just,
because that quest in mine would not be in line. It would be a different state. My goal was to keep it small. Because I mean, I even feel this is too big. I don't even like this on my screen. This is.
What if we have a box that pops up at the top and pushes it down as like the quest that you're looking at? Then because you can only have one quest you're looking at up top, but then you still see everything else,
Because then it
and
gets
then it
big.
highlights the line that you're on. Huh?
Because it keeps it big. Like,
Big.
yeah, it's too big in my mind, right? That's my pushback. I don't. This is too big right here. This is more information than I want on my screen.
But but you're choosing to have it on in this case, right? You're choosing to have that information on.
Yes,
because it'll be a drop down.
but I don't want it all the way down here.
Unless you want more
So let's say you had
information.
3 parties. You had 3 quests, because each party can only accept 1 quest. So now you're already down to here. You open a quest, now you're at least down to here.
Okay.
You're
Yeah.
getting huge.
But you're looking at that information.
No, I'm only looking at the quest I clicked on. For me, that's the only use I have for it. I don't even want to see all this crap usually. Like, I click the quest, I want to see the quest. I don't care about the 900 other things that could be in here. I mean, this could be much, much longer. There's nothing. For instance, in Vandermeer, I think there's already, so level 3, just to throw this out there, I think there's already 4 or 5 optional quests. Or optional objectives, to fix the term. These can get very long. And then what are you doing with overflow? Now it goes overflowed. We gotta have a scroll bar too.
I'm wondering what other solution you're gonna have though, because you can use the drop down, just collapse it if you don't like how big it is. Like check your quests and then close it.
Okay. Yes. What do we do when the thing goes off the screen?
Yeah.
Now do we have to
you
have a
just
scroll bar? I'm not doing scroll bars over there. Like that's just a waste, guys. This is getting ridiculous. We've gone
How
from
do you want?
Huh?
Yeah. How do you want to display when you have a bunch of quests though?
Well, you're not going to have that many quests. It's not possible to have that many quests. Even if you had a
Again, I didn't hear
one
anything you said.
sorry. Even if you had one person in every party and they all accepted a single quest, there's no way you could
Oh
have
no.
quests all the way down to here.
Yeah.
Oh, stream's back. Okay, cool.
I think you're back for now.
Well, hopefully. In the current situation, without trying to display quest information inline, there's no possible way that it can get down here. It's impossible. I lost you guys.
Is it just me or is it lagging for you too, Kyle?
Yeah. The stream's doing a lot better than our call.
Okay.
Discord's stupid.
Like his audio's decent in the stream.
Okay.
I think you're back. Your video isn't choppy anymore.
Did you guys hear what I said?
Yeah, I think you're good.
No. Sorry.
What I said was there's
Uh,
no possible way that the text can reach the bottom of the screen currently. It's impossible.
yeah.
We put quests in line,
Yeah, that makes
they're
sense. I
going to
guess
go
a
off the screen.
quest can get pretty long, right?
Okay.
But we can minimize
Yeah,
a lot of
so
that too.
that's why I was thinking maybe you can only actually expand in line one quest, and when if you open another one, it close whatever one's open.
Well, now you still can get off the screen. As soon as you stick this in here,
Oh, because it can just have a ridiculous amount of information.
as soon as you do that, now you only have this much space. Now it's possible to get off the screen.
All right, well,
Yeah,
let's try that option then. If you think it's going to be problematic, that's fine. I just think I would want to see more.
But
We'll
in
look at
what game
there.
do you see more? In what game do you not see one quest at a time?
So like WoW, for example, right? I've
One
got the
quest
quest
at a
log
time.
that I can click on one and view it on the right. Then I can go and click on another one and view it on the right as well. Whereas this is popping over the area that you're clicking on to view a specific quest or not. So you just have to close this out and pick another quest, which is okay. It's just a bit clunky in my mind.
I don't understand why it's clunky. That's like every quest log I've ever used.
That's true. Most quest logs are pretty clunky.
I mean, some have a thing on the right to choose the quest, and then the quest on the a thing on the left to choose the quest, and the quest on the right. But now we're talking about creating a huge menu. And this thing isn't movable, I assume, right? So it's stuck,
Mm-hmm.
which means that it's just the bigger it gets, the more annoying it is.
I guess it could show on the left of that area, and that would still make your quest visible to select different ones.
I mean, you select different ones, but why? So you just don't want to push the X. That's what I'm hearing.
Yeah.
You want to double the size of the menu so you don't have to push an X?
Yep.
I'm going to fight you all day on that.
Huh?
I'm going to fight you all day on that.
Okay. Understandable. That's just my preference, and I don't know if that's unreasonable or not, but that's my.
I mean, I see what you're going for. I get it. You hover over this. It pops that up. You click it, it stays. You hover. What happens if this one stayed and I hover over this one? Now what happens?
If what one stayed, sorry.
Okay, so I hover. It's there. I take my mouse off. It's not. I hover. It's there. I click it. It stays. It locks there.
Okay.
I go down to this one and hover. What happens?
I don't know that it needs to happen on hover. I was thinking click personally. I think hover might be much, but we could do that as well. But the hover would take over it and then bring the last one up.
Yeah, the main goal.
I guess.
The main goal, because I mentioned the hover, I think, was the only goal I had really with the hover was to prevent you from having to click the X. So if we can achieve that a different way, then forget the hover.
To click the X, you said?
Yeah, to prevent you having to click the X when you're like, just quickly, I want to see what these are. I'm just going to hover over them real quick because I don't want to have to open a menu and close a menu. But if we can get something that
each one individually and having it replace it would be fine then.
Yeah, that's what I'm trying to kind of say.
Yeah. That's what I was initially thinking. I wasn't thinking in a hover, but if you wanted the hover too, I would solve that in saying that you would remember which one you clicked on, and then hover would take it over and then replace the one that you last clicked on, if that's still open. But I think that's overkill.
I think all of this is overkill. But
Okay.
I mean, I don't even look at the quests in this game. Now that could be a bias, but I mean, I don't.
You created
This
them.
this doesn't even open, which tells you how little I actually look at the quests. I mean, this should absolutely open, right? This is a problem, and I'll admit that's a problem. But it's so little of a problem for people that I mean, because here's the deal: for most quests, almost all of them, you move your guy here, you accept the quest, and it's literally going to start the fight.
Most of them, yeah. Some of them. So the issue that I have on this quest thing
The,
is just that there's some that you're just like, I don't know. Okay.
then that's 90%. We'll call that 75% because it's too much of a percentage right now. But let's say that's 75% of quests is that you do them where
Sure.
you're at. Then the next 25 or so percent of the quests, literally, they're going to send you where you're going. Right? If they're, let's see if this quest, yeah, clear the bandit camp. So if I went and accepted this quest, it's going to literally send me from this node automatically to the tree and start the quest.
Sure, but there might be a guy that's walking towards me, and I need to change route, and then now I can't. I don't know exactly where he was sending me.
Yeah, right. So I mean, theoretically, when it pops up the quest menu, it should highlight where he's going. I agree with all that. These are problems. I agree they're problems. I'm just trying to point out the magnitude of the problem is tiny, not large, in my mind, because the game's already trying to get you to go where you're going. Now that's also if you accept the relic quest. I think I have one. Yep. So this quest will send you from this node to this node and try to get you to enter the cave, right? Yes, you can redirect. Yes, all those things. It's true. But the game's already trying to get you to go there. Unless you have stopped your character from going where it wants to go, or your party from going where it wants to go, which in my experience is somewhat rare. I mean, it's not non-existent. It is a problem. My point is, I don't even look at the quests. I mean, I would play the game with this essentially closed, except for looking at my win conditions here and there.
Okay, see, so I'm a bit different on that one. When it sends my character somewhere, I want to stick with it, but typically when I've done that, my character's not ready to continue battle. Like I'm going to pick up a quest because I want to have the quest, and then I'm going to go rest, and then I'm going to head to that area.
It
Right?
doesn't
Because
do
I'm
any good
thinking,
to do that.
huh?
I mean, I guess, but it doesn't do you any good to do that.
Well, to me, I guess if it's sending me somewhere, I feel like it's a bigger quest, and maybe that's just the feeling that I'm getting. Is I feel like I need to be more prepared for this quest, so I'm going to go rest, and then I'm going to go do it.
I mean, that's not. I mean, that is the way this specific one is balanced, and actually that one too. But that doesn't mean it has to be that way.
Sure, but that's the impression that I get, right? Like once it starts walking me somewhere, like to the cave, especially, I got the feeling of like I should rest before I go there.
And
I'm
I
gonna go
think
get.
maybe something like this house, big arrow, tree would be good.
Or even on the quest, we could just have a button that says "Take me," go to quest or
Yeah,
something.
yes, all of that.
Right.
Agreed.
Well,
I agree with all of that. My point is, we're making this quest log huge. I mean, as you're making it almost as big as the guild house. Not quite, but it's going to come out to like here. In an unmovable screen. So that you don't have to push an X.
Mm-hmm.
That seems
Yep.
that seems crazy to me.
Okay, well, we'll see. I mean, we can try it that way, but I mean, Kyle and I feel that way,
I don't
that
know.
the X is a problem.
I don't like the X, but there are alternatives that we talked about that would be fine with me. Like, just like if you click the quest log, if you have quest A open and you click on quest B, just replace the window.
You can't see quest B, is what I'm trying to say.
That's the problem. Yeah. If we do it the way that Chris wants, it would cover.
It goes over. It's a state 2 or a state 1 from 0. It doesn't show the quest log. That's to keep it small.
Oh, okay. So and then you hit X and it jumps back to the quest log.
Yes.
Okay. I wasn't quite understand. Okay, so
But I cannot see being okay with a menu being open out to here, taking up, well, there. That's a better look at it. Like, I can't play the game now with it open. It's not usable. Open.
I think I would prefer the pop out to the two state because I want to be able to see the singular quest and all my other quests at the same time.
Yeah, but now you can't play the game with it open.
I'm looking at quests.
My version looks like that, and I can play the game with it open.
I'm talking about the
You
current
guys'
set.
version looks like that, and I can't play the game hardly with it open.
Oh, I'm not saying put it all in one menu. I'm saying like the pop out system we currently have is fine with me. Just replace that one pop out.
That you can move around the screen.
Yeah, just when you click it, it just updates the content of that pop out wherever it is and brings it to the foreground.
And you put it where you want.
Yeah, and if you click the quest for a quest that's currently open in that, and you click it again, you'll close it. Just it toggles it basically.
I don't have a big enough screen.
Because yeah, I don't want a giant quest log either.
But see, now you're looking at something like this.
Well, no, it's still a pop out, so you can put that.
Yes,
light of
it's a
drum
pop
thing
out. It's
wherever
over
you want.
here. And
Oh,
this is your quest menu. Maybe like this. I mean, that's better, but now it's not one menu. Now we're out to multiple menus.
It is two menus, but that's because I definitely want to be able to see both at the same time at some point. When I'm generally playing, no, I don't care. But when I'm like, which quest am I going to do with my party that's half health? I want to double check these, like see if I can actually, if it's stupid or a good idea to
But
go
you
after
don't
these.
have quests. You only have quests your party accepted. My guild has one quest. It's right there. That's it. Nothing else. I only have one party out. I only have one quest accepted. I have one quest.
And they're always maxed out at one quest per party.
Yes, your party can only have one quest at a time.
Okay. Do we tell? How do you find that out in game?
That changes if you accept a different quest. It's not the greatest. I'm not saying it's awesome, but you can only have one quest per party. And most of the time, it starts the quest immediately.
Okay. So that's why the blacksmith pet quest would pop back up on me sometimes after I accepted it. It would basically drop the quest and then start the new one.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Like, you're not running around seeing all these quests. These are not your quests. You have not accepted these quests.
Mm-hmm.
These would not be in your quest log unless we chose to do something different. Like, this is the quest I've accepted, not this one, not that one, not that one. I mean, you might have more than one quest if you have more than one party. Like, I'm not saying you literally only ever have one quest. I'm saying
Right.
you don't have 5 of them, most likely. I mean, if you have 5 parties, that's... Whew.
Okay. What's the design decision on that, I guess? I'm trying to understand it.
The
If
party
you're
has one goal. I mean, you don't have 30 goals with the party.
okay,
You do
so
one
just to
thing.
keep them focused on one thing at a time.
Right. You're playing the role of the guildmaster. You're telling them what to go do. You don't typically give them 10 tasks and say go. Right? And once they leave your guild house, you theoretically wouldn't even have any contact with them. I mean, I guess you could send a message, but I mean that's got to catch up to them, blah, blah, blah. So, no, the idea was go do this. Do that. I mean,
Okay.
the idea also is to have more than one party. That
So
I've kind of failed in, I'll be honest.
okay,
But
I feel like that's a completely separate topic then, because there's a lot there that I think we can probably do better to kind of tie into the game, yeah, and get more parties out, make it feel like that the guild house is more of a hub, because I didn't get that feeling that it was like the hub to send me out when I was playing. Maybe accepting a quest from there and assigning it to a party or something would be a better feeling. But like I said, I
thing
think that's
is,
like
how do you know what the quest is? You haven't gone
right.
to talk to the person.
Mm-hmm.
Now, maybe I'm being too literal. Maybe I'm being too, I don't know.
Maybe they come into your guild house and they're asking for your help, and you know what I mean, like that. That's kind of
Well, if that's the point and you're just telling them go, then you shouldn't even be able to change their direction. You should literally say, go do this quest.
mm-hmm.
And then if there's anything in the way, they're going to run into it and fight it.
Yeah.
So, I don't know. That is why it is the way it is. It's designed to be a multi-party game. I will admit failure in getting that to work the way I wanted it to be. That doesn't make the game not fun, but that is what the original design was to make multiple parties, right? Because, I mean, you absolutely can go make, oops, I already have it open,
Yeah.
multiple parties, right? I can go and grab these 3 lunatics, and now I have 2 parties. And
Yep.
now I could have 2 quests. So, I think we will move the quest off the party, but then still have the party saying what they're trying to do, which will be a quest here.
And just show that that party is the one that's trying to do it. Does it matter that another party went to go do it?
Well, I think if I rearrange it, it wouldn't, but
I mean, in your mind, does that break things in the original scope or plan?
well, I don't care that the original scope is upheld. I care that the game is good.
Mm-hmm.
So if this is stopping the game from being good, then screw it, dude. It's gone. Maybe, I mean, it's a lot of work to change that. That's like the core of the game, right? The core gameplay is create party, grab quest, do quest, right? That is core gameplay.
I really like the concept and the gameplay of having multiple parties, but at the same time, I've
Well, I'm not
only
taking
done it
multiple
once.
parties away. That's not going anywhere.
Okay, cool, good.
That's not going anywhere. But okay, so again, core gameplay is 3 pieces. It's so simple. It's create party, accept quest, do quest, right? And so the core gameplay would change from that to create party, accept quests, and eventually, if you want to, with any party, go do quest. Does that make sense? It just changes that loop. I know it's a subtle change, but it's not a subtle change in programming. That is the core of the game.
I thought that's how the game already worked. That's how I was playing it.
No, you
A
weren't,
little
because you can't
different
play it that way. It's
Well,
impossible to play the game that way.
I generally don't look at quests. I make a party and I'll just send them the explanation points.
Right. That's what I said. That's the core gameplay. Make a party, accept quest with the party, right? Do quest. 3 parts.
Oh, okay. I thought you were saying you accept it before you make the party.
No. But that's what. So these different positions, make party and accept quest, could be in any order at that point. Like, okay, so I could send this guy to the church to accept the relic quest while sending a second party to the cave to do the quest. I'm not against that. It's a little weird. Doesn't feel right for like a lore perspective, because how does group 1 know about group 2's quest that they accepted? But if that makes the game better, okay. You know?
So I guess maybe one thing that's kind of weird, we're getting off topic here a bit, but that kind of makes me think of like the guildmaster is a playable character, right? So I don't feel like the guildmaster controlling it, but maybe taking that away and turning him into an officer, so that the controller is more the guildmaster, would feel more like that. Because now I'm starting to see it like
I feel like
I
you're,
as the player am the guildmaster. What?
uh, I feel like you're gonna have a hard time identifying with your guildmaster at that point.
Possibly.
I mean, that's kind of what Fire Emblem does. Like, you play as a strategist, is the idea, and you're like telling the party what to do. And
Yes, but
the,
in
like,
this case, the guildmaster can't do anything. In your
yeah, your
case,
character doesn't do anything. He's like, it's like your character's there for the cutscenes in the beginning of fights, but as soon as the fight starts, your character just vanishes and isn't there anymore.
sure, but how
So
useless is that?
it's just it's a perspective gamer thing. It doesn't actually affect gameplay. It's a total lore thing.
I
I
understand
get
what you're
both
saying.
sides.
I'm saying
Yeah.
you've got a guildmaster, and it can't do anything.
Yeah, I like the guildmaster being able to fight because if he's the guildmaster, I feel like he also should be special in some way, like some special buff. I
He
don't
is
know.
special, and he does have a special buff.
He does have the immortality buff always?
He's immortal, and he has the guildmaster buff, which is 5% stat increase.
Oh, that's right, that one. Okay, I thought the immortal was just on your starting characters. It wasn't specifically on your guildmaster.
Immortal's on all 3 of your starting characters. That is correct. But officers have a 2% increase, and as we talked about before, we want to allow you to choose a trait, and you'll have most likely, and we didn't technically confirm this, but we talked about it, and I think we all agreed we'd like to have a racial trait. So you're looking at starting with 4 traits, one of which you got to choose, but those choosables would be available for everybody you get out of the tavern. You'd be choosing from the list of these, like strong, which is a 5% to strength. It's very buff. That's a big trait. So in that way, you'd have almost you could create a quote unquote perfect starting character. If you had, say, 5% to all stats from the guildmaster and 5% to strength, you're talking about slightly over 10% strength increase. That's something. Now, maybe we're saying, well, 5% for the guildmaster is not enough. Okay, well, all right. We can talk about what the buffs are and balancing and stuff, but the guildmaster absolutely does have a special set of traits or a special trait.
Yeah, I mean, like
No,
I said,
that's really cool. Good.
touch
I'm
on.
glad for that.
What was that, Corey?
There's something I want to touch on, just because I'm getting that feeling of being removed and managing it, but I can see having the guildmaster not be useless as well. So in combat,
I wanted people to identify with their characters. Now, we already have a bad review saying people couldn't identify with their characters, so there's that also. I don't know.
really,
Can you
I
pick
mean,
your
you create your
guildmaster?
characters
What, Corey?
how you
Kyle?
want.
Can you change your guildmaster later?
No. That's something we could look at. I'm not saying no, like never gonna be in the game. I'm saying no currently, right?
Okay.
So.
Usually the guild falls apart when that happens, from my experience.
Ah,
Oh Lord.
No, I'm just kidding. There are times that it's been good, but
kind of a cool process then too. You could you could make it cost money and like you give them a debuff that prevents them from going out in a party for a day, like they're training to be the guild, so that people don't just spam it re-changing for the buff alone.
yeah, I mean, I think we're getting pretty far off topic.
Anyway, yeah, sorry.
I also don't see a reason to change your guildmaster. That would kind of hurt the lore. Like you're building the guild and you just quit in the middle of the guild building. I don't.
Well, it's one
I
of your
understand that
buddies, it's one of
happens
your
in like
guildmates.
MMOs, but I don't see why you would want that in the game.
In case I get a super awesome rogue later, that I'm like, I want this person my guildmaster for that 5% buff.
Well, you got to pick your buff. You could have that 5% buff. You don't yet. That's the goal, right? The goal is you pick your trait.
Okay, yeah,
So
but if I get a rogue and I want that rogue to have the buff later, like 20 hours into the game, I get a rogue and I want them to be my new guild master.
Well, I think you're aptitude. Like, I don't think we should change that. That's
Yeah, I would stay away from that right now unless we have a good reason to. Because that's like a reason to replay, right? Like, oh wow, rogues are really strong with this build. I want him to be stronger in my next playthrough. Then you
I'm
make
also
the
gonna
rogue.
be kind of mad though if I have to restart the game to try and accomplish a build in a game where you can amass heroes just because I don't have the potential to make that hero now.
you do have a
Like,
Then it's
potential.
not
I
important.
mean, 5% is not
Not
going
with
to
the
change you
buff.
from playing a character.
Yeah, all right, that's true, I guess.
It doesn't change your build. It just makes you 5% better. It just makes you a more well-rounded character. But I,
So jumping back to the quest thing, I'm fine to try it with the way that you want it. I do like Kyle's option better, to where the quest menu just always gets taken over wherever you put it. Otherwise, we're doing away with that menu, right? So if we put it all up in the top right, then that quest menu wouldn't exist anymore.
this would not exist.
You're a little delayed, so I'm gonna make sure.
This would exist
Mm-hmm.
because you need to accept it. Really, this should say. I don't know. Maybe that should say accept.
Yeah.
It says send because it's trying to tell you that you're gonna go. Something needs to be done there if we change it to accept. You know, this whole menu needs redone. I mean, it's not like keep this menu.
This quest menu?
Yeah, they all need to be redone. Like the party menu needs redone.
So
This
I'm
needs
cool with
redone.
that. Just if we're keeping that anyway, I kind of prefer just to have, if you click on a quest, it pops up and takes over that clear the basement window. You move that where you want it, and that's kind of best of both worlds. And then we don't have multiple quest windows up. It would just take over the one. What are your thoughts on that? Because you could cover the quest area if you wanted to with that window then.
Yeah, I can. I don't know. For the same reason I want this menu to get this menu attached to it and get things to be more consolidated and less.
So that's another
Scattered.
discussion then. That's part of the quest discussion. Is
Well,
that
we did have that discussion, and we decided we wanted to that we wanted to combine these.
okay? So we are going with that. We are combining that still.
Right. At least that's
Okay.
my understanding.
Because that could
For,
change with
for
the
the
new.
same reason that we wanted to combine these, I would want to keep this combined. This has just gotten too disjointed, right? It's too malleable to the point where it became quicksand in my mind.
What's this? Sorry, the
Everything,
top
like,
right.
so you can move everything.
Yeah, and that's nice and a problem,
Right.
because now you're requiring the user to organize it.
Whereas I feel like if we're going to have this up in the top right hand corner, then we combined it and we say, that stays there. You don't have to organize that. That goes there. You know?
Yeah.
This screen, I think, is going to get bigger, and I honestly think we may need to reorganize it to just take over a specific space. It's just too large
What?
to be moving around too much.
The Guildhouse screen.
Sorry, I forget that there's a big stream delay. I
It's
don't
gonna
know.
have to get bigger.
I think it's going to need to get bigger.
Okay.
But I'm not sure what to do with it. It may get skinnier and taller. I don't know. But
Maybe it'd be like a separate screen, like you fade to black and then go into the guild house, and it can take up the whole screen and it's different.
Originally, I was thinking this was going to be like a whole other screen that you go into.
I'm open to whatever. The reason I didn't go with that, and I can tell you why I didn't go with that, is because I was trying to make sure people could continue playing at all times. That was the original goal. Like, you didn't have to stop playing. But I'm not against that. If that's how we feel like is the best way to solve that, this feels like we tried to keep it so tight, and then it's so tight that it's hard to get out of it what we want to get out of it.
Mhm.
So I feel
So
like,
that maybe I can add that to the discussion topics for another one if we want,
yeah, we
or we
definitely
can.
don't want to go that route. But I'm just trying to say, like, this is the only menu I don't feel like we need to completely redo. This is it. This is the only one in the entire game where I would say it's at least 80% of what I want.
What, the character menu?
The character menu. Sorry. I keep saying this,
Okay.
and you guys can't see it. This is the only one. The character menu is the only one where I would say, yeah, sure, I think there's changes that can be made. I'm not saying it's perfect, but I'm saying this is the only menu I feel like, okay, if we didn't change this, I wouldn't cry about it.
Okay.
So every other menu in the game, to me, needs redone. With all the same design language going throughout the whole thing and everything. So maybe put the edit at his feet, maybe. I'm still don't know where to put that one.
Okay. So jumping back to the quest thing, then, when you open a quest from a house, what do you see happening then? So when you click on a house and you open it, then
So
you
I
click
push
on the
this
quest,
button.
it opens up in the top right. Then it'd be part of that menu in the top right.
No, if you click this button, it would be the accepting. It would essentially be this menu, the quest menu, somehow tacked on here. I don't know how exactly.
Can there be multiple quests in one building?
Yes. Not yet,
Okay.
though.
That's why.
Oh, there can be, actually. So if you have a quest spawning building, I think it happens in level 2. You have a building that otherwise also spawns quests that spawns story quests as well. So right now you can have a story quest and a
Okay.
regular quest on. But I think having multiple quests available on an individual thing is a good thing. I just haven't gone that route yet. Haven't gotten to that.
Okay, so that almost requires that menu. We could use tabs for that if we want to limit it.
But see, I think this
But then
menu
that kind of changes.
needs to incorporate a space for this. Probably in it. I don't know. I'm not exactly sure how to do it. That's going to take
I say,
some serious thinking.
yeah, I know. I don't know how to do that yet.
But like an example of something I want to change is, and Kyle talked, and I talked about this yesterday a little bit, so I guess we can mention it. It's a party menu. I want to take these cards, fix them, make them big enough. They need to get bigger to do what I want to do with them. And I want to
Okay.
put the 5 of them down the side of the party thing, because these are just stupid small.
5 of them down the side of the party thing.
5
Like
cards down the side, and that's the height of the screen at that point.
Don't you want 6 for 6 party number? Oh wait, no,
There's only
5.
5 party
I thought
numbers.
there were 6.
But 5 down the side. If you only have 3, then there would be 2 blank ones.
Okay.
And then move this stuff kind of over to the side in a nice on the right hand side.
Yep, I like that. So they'd match more like what they are in the right menu or in the combat menu.
Mm-hmm. And then furthermore, and this is unfortunately going to lock me into a battle, this menu would be 5 cards down the side and 5 cards down the side. And then you'd still have this information we got to move around, but it'd put a big versus in the middle, But you'd have the cards so that you have all the information for the
I like that.
characters.
Simplify it. Yeah.
So these are examples of these menus gotta change. Not gotta. I want them to change. I want them to be better. They're not good enough. They're just not. Um,
So I would say we probably want to tackle those first, since we don't really know about the quest, like accepting the quest. So maybe we wait on that. Leave it as it is for now, and kind of fix the quest area in the top right. We fix some of those menus, and we kind of see where our spacing is and what ideas jump out at us. Then look at those health bars up top. Are those the new ones? They look like they are.
yep.
Yeah.
All the new ones. They're even here, and I'm gonna make some changes to these ones, but they're
The health
proliferated
looks
everywhere.
different. The red looks different than the green. Are they the same?
They're
The
identical.
green just, yeah, it's just harder to read the white text on the green.
Oh, by the way, guys, there's zombies. For anybody who wanted to see them in the game.
Oh, there are zombies in this.
A lot of zombies.
Notice they only. Yeah, this is a battle I made specifically for me to test, and I haven't killed it because I've been doing other things. Um, zombies hit harder than a mob otherwise would at their level. But they also only have 2 action points, so probably shouldn't move into them like I'm doing right now, but I want to get through the fight. Fuck, why is Lacerate hitting so hard? Oh, because it's over a certain number of turns. We need to add that. Can you put that in there for me, Corey? Like how many turns something has? I need to get that on this thing.
On the tooltip.
On the tooltip. I added cooldowns, so you can see the cooldown there. It's the 5th line. And I think I added something else. I don't remember what I did.
I am so far behind.
But anyway, I'm just gonna try to get through this fight real fast. The numbers, and you'll see it when you get caught up. Well, they actually look pretty good.
So is this for something that's like a dot then, or is this something just in general?
The Lacerate is a dot. Oh, and the game broke.
I think I was gonna say I think we should definitely add an outline or have an outline font for the damage numbers, because over that brown wine rack, when you created that zombie, I could almost not read it.
Yeah. Agreed. We just wanted to get one font working well before we try to add more. So I think eventually we'll get there. Well, that's strange. Because the zombie doesn't have a main hand. Oh. Well, shit.
All right. Well, we are up over the hour mark, but I think we made some good progress on the quest. We still have like the accepting of the quest that needs to be figured out. I like the idea of the kind of improving the cards, or having like consistent player cards, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
Using those around, and then it's more of like a versus, kind of cool.
If we're gonna have a card like that, how would you feel about using them in this battle menu somehow? Like having a consistent
too fat.
card. Just too fat. Oh. Yeah, I would have to vertically stack them on the side, huh?
They would have to go on the side. I mean, I guess we could go on the side, but they couldn't be where they are now. If they were fat, they'd already be going off the screen. Granted, this is the most you'd have, 10 versus 10. But, well, I guess that's not true. I mean, you can have a warlock that spawns 5 more. You could have 15 dudes on the screen. Plus, we could have warlocks eventually. So now you could have 20 dudes on the screen.
I feel like this is gonna go off the screen even as is at that point.
It's gonna be on the border, that's for sure.
And that's with the 1080p too. If you're like a 1366 or something, like.
Oh, it shrinks.
Oh, okay.
So, yeah. I gotta fix that, and I gotta patch that, because that's every time a zombie swings. That's not good. All right. Anyway, guys, I think that's probably good progress, as Corey said. There's a million things to talk about still.
yeah, so we'll try to kind of have more pointed discussion topics going forward. Today was just mostly kind of the quest log, clearing up the objectives. We didn't get completely finished with that, but we've got some good direction on it.
Oh, I think we got to a first version of the quest log. So I do actually think we did that. I just don't think we dealt with accepting the quest, which is a different topic.
Yeah. Yeah, I'll add that to our list as well, accepting quests. Put that towards the bottom. So yeah, we missed last week, holidays and stuff. I moved as well, so I was out Friday. But yeah, I think we're still trying to aim for every Friday-ish.
Yep, and this one's not on Friday because holidays.
Yeah.
But next Friday.
All right, we'll see you guys next week.
Have a good one.
Bye.
Joining us.